This is without a doubt the best modern Lugia card in all of Pokemon. I am of course talking about the Silver Tempest Lugia. You could even argue that this is the greatest Lugia of all Pokemon cards. It depends how you feel about this Aquapolis Lugia or this Neo Genesis Lugia. But I wouldn't fight you if you said this was your favorite of all of them. You're probably thinking to yourself, hey, I want that card. Take a look at the price here. Almost $500 for an ungraded near mint copy. What if I told you there was another modern Lugia card that was almost as good, maybe 50% as good, but only cost $10? I went to another local Pokemon card show here yesterday and actually picked up the card I'm talking about. But before we get to that card, I want to show you everything else I picked up and all the cool deals I got. Lots of good cards in here, so make sure you stick around. Before I actually get into the things that I purchased, I want to maybe shout out HobbyCon here because they give away a lot of free stuff when you come to their shows. I saw if you got there early that some people got full ETBs, which is pretty crazy. Myself, I was in no rush to actually arrive, but I still got some free stuff, specifically 2 Chinese packs, which I was expecting nothing and got 2 free packs, so I'm more than happy with that. Let's take a quick look at what I got in these. In this Goldengo pack, I actually pulled an IR, this Nacli here. Now, these are Chinese, so they're cheaper packs for sure, but still kind of cool. You know, these look nice. Don't mind getting my first Chinese IR here with this Nacli. Even more interestingly was probably this Gengar pack. It was, I'm not sure if it's like some kind of specialty pack or whatnot, but it had all reverse hollows or hollows in it, including this Houndstone here, reverse hollow Pokeball Meowth, this weird Starry reverse hollow, and then I also got a Master Ball Gengar out of it. As far as I can tell, this is like a $5 to $6 card Canadian, so kind of cool. I got a few bucks worth of cards here for absolutely free, so definitely shout out HobbyCon for that. Okay, in terms of actual cards that I purchased, I got a couple early kind of super cheap cards right away. I am finishing off my Obsidian Flames collection here and need a couple of double rares. I saw this Decidueye and it was $1. It's always good to get cards like this at card shows or card stores. Buying them online is terrible because you're paying tax and shipping and all this stuff. So cheap cards like this end up really becoming way more expensive than they need to be. So I haven't been buying cards like this online. If I come across them for $1, I'll pick them up. So one more double rare down for Obsidian Flames. The other card I picked up was this $1 Charizard. This McDonald's promo Charizard. I believe it's McDonald's M24. I know it's a reprint of the Vivid Voltage Charizard. You know, it's cool artwork, and for $1, I will take pretty much any Charizard. So I didn't have this one. Great, now can add it to my Charizard collection. We can jump into a couple more interesting things here before we get to the Lugia. I got a mix of stuff here. So this was another purchase. If you've been following along, you probably saw that I got the Holo Magnemite not too long ago, a couple weeks ago. And, you know, a lot of the old sets, they had the Holo and the non-Holo of the same card, which is annoying, not my favorite. That's probably the biggest knock against the vintage sets. But $5 for this Magnemite, totally fair. Thought that was a good deal. And then they also had this Umbreon V here, and they had it in there for $1. I felt, you know, pretty much any Umbreon is going to be worth buying at $1. I didn't have this card, just a simple promo, Sword and Shield promo, but I offered them $5 for these 2 cards, and they accepted, so $5 for these feels more than fair. 2 cool cards, one for my set, just a cool promo Umbreon. Feel good about that. The next deal is for some XY era stuff, and XY is one of my favorite generations in terms of Pokemon cards. Games are fine. In terms of Pokemon cards, I really love the art style and the sets they have. I almost have a fully complete Phantom Forces. I'm literally missing 1 card, and it's not the most expensive card. It's like the 3rd or 4th most expensive card. And have like 90% on pretty much all the sets in XY. So I'm just picking up a lot of little things that I need to fill out. Quick sidebar, since I've been asked about this in previous videos, the app I'm using is called Pokemon.gg, not a sponsor. And I decided to switch away from the more common apps like Collector because I found them to be way too slow. And when you have over 10,000 unique cards, speed is pretty important when you're trying to catalog stuff. Pokemon GG has been plenty of fast, and I really like the features they have and the community they have, so I've been using it for quite a while now. I do have a link down below, which is an affiliate link, but I've been using this software for months before I decided to do that. Okay, back to the cards. This Trevenant has been going for like $5 online, $3 to $5 online, so I've been hesitant to pick it up because it's just, you know, Trevenant's a mid-tier Pokemon. It's not the best of cards. This person had it for $1. perfect. I grab that every day of the week, and this is in great condition. The other thing that I've been needing is for my Evolution set, which is obviously an excellent set, and sometimes more expensive than it needs to be because it has a lot of original Pokemon in it. I have the Slowbro EX. I did not have the Mega Slowbro EX, so picking this up is great. I paid $10 for this, so if you watched my how to get Pokemon cards for cheaper thing, this is already a great deal for the Mega Slowbro, obviously a great deal for the Trevenant. 2 cards that I was looking for, two totally fair prices. You say, hey, I know that $10 is totally fair for this, just throw this $1 card in as extra, and 95% of vendors will be like, yeah, that's totally fine. So $10 total with cash is the other tip I often give, gets you these 2 cards. Okay, the final purchase I made before I show you the Lugia that I'm talking about here was for 4 cards. Specifically, I went to the card show looking for Team Rocket cards, also Gym or Neo set cards. I've finished all the sets previous to those, so I'm looking to complete these other vintage sets. I wasn't having the most luck finding Team Rocket, but I did get some of the lesser rare stuff. I'm still looking for a Blastoise, the Dark Blastoise Holo, the Dark Dragonite Holo, and the Dark Gyarados Holo. Ideally, the pre-release version of the Dark Gyarados. I already have the Charizard and a bunch of the other good cards. But there was a couple rares, non-holo rares, and uncommons that I need. I was able to come across this Dark Machoke here, if I can get it in focus. They had it listed for nothing, they didn't have it priced. So I pulled it off to the side when I was looking through stuff. And this is maybe another tip for getting deals for stuff. This card is typically worth $2 to $2.50 Canadian. So nothing crazy, but this is in a great condition, basically near mint for this Dark Machoke. Kind of a cool card, honestly, for an uncommon. This other one here, $5 for a Dark Weezing, non-holo, totally fair. That's kind of the market price. They actually had the first edition marked at $5, which is more than fair. So Dark Weezing came in some of the decks. I know the holo one did, so the holo is actually I also got the holo for $5. But a first edition Dark Weezing for $5 felt more than fair. And again, this is basically near mint. Tiny little mark on the bottom there. So maybe LP, but still more than fair for first edition Dark Weezing. And normally I collect unlimited, but the unlimited Dark Weezings that I was finding were more than $5, which was crazy. So if I'm going to get first edition for cheaper, I'm absolutely going to do it. Now this one was crazy. They had this Dark Flareon. Originally the sleeve was backwards, so it had no price on it, so I asked him, and he's like, oh, it's $20. And I was like, whoa, that's aggressive. This is not a first edition. These cards are worth $5 to $7 typically. Now this is, again, in very good condition. So I put it back. I was like, well, that's crazy. Not in that still. I was like, oh, that's pretty high. I would not pay more than $5 for it. Put it back, kept looking through the binder. And then as I was pulling these other cards out here, he's like, you know what? He must have looked it up on his phone or whatever. It's like, I'll give you that Dark Flareon for $5. Because this was in such good condition, I was considering it. And I was like, oh, I'll look through the rest. And found this Steelix, which, like I said, a Neo Genesis specifically holo Steelix. What about the sleeve? The steel ones are always interesting. It's kind of a cool background effect. I wish the holo was more pronounced, but it's still a cool card. Steelix is a cool Pokemon. Love Gen 2 Pokemon. The card's in decent condition. The front is really good. A little dirt here that I'll be able to clean off. The back is a little worse. You can see at the top here it's kind of scraped. Now, if this was an unreasonable price, I would never buy that. This card is I think around $50. And at $30 for maybe what I would call MP, because of the back, looks great on the front, so perfect for binders. Felt more reasonable. I ended up offering them $40 for all this, which I think is pretty fair. I was like, yeah, I'll take the $5 Flareon. I know he wanted more for it, so I didn't want to haggle too much there. This $5 Dark Weezing is more than fair, and the 30 felt fair enough. So just throw this Dark Machoke in for free, $250. That felt, for $40 Canadian, this felt like a good deal to me. 3 cards that I absolutely needed, the Steelix that I want for the next couple sets that I'm completing. Great deal. Okay, what I had been teasing, and hopefully you've stuck around to see, is this Lugia. Wow. You can see it has a $10 price tag on it. That is the near mint price. Let's pop it out of the sleeve here. It's a modern card. You'd expect it to be in good condition, and it is. Near mint, centered super well. No flaws on it that I can tell at a quick glance. So my wife really loves this card, especially the more expensive one. So I was like, I'll get this since you love it so much, like a good husband, even though it's for my collection. But honestly, this card is really cool looking. Like if that other Lugia didn't exist, I think this card would probably be more expensive. Because they're both in the same set, both Silver Tempest. This is like the lesser version of the ultra rare one. It's maybe valued down a little bit. Now it's still like $10 is still kind of expensive for this tier of rarity. But for this quality of card, I think more than worth it. Like this is a potential shelf-worthy Lugia. And for $10 versus $500, just an absolute banger of a card to put in your collection. I would absolutely recommend, well, you maybe save up for the more expensive Lugia, or not even at all, to try and get this card here. To further illustrate the craziness of this Lugia full art card, let's look at the recently sold listings on eBay of this Lugia. You can see with a lot of these, like this PSA 10 here, at over $1,700. Lots of graded cards here for pretty crazy prices, and then ungraded ones for $500-ish or more. And to really hammer home this point here, look at the PSA population counts. This is actually not that rare of a card. There's tens to hundreds of thousands of these things out there. So do you really want to spend $500 on something that's really not that rare? I'm not so sure. Yes, it looks great. There's no question about it. But if the Pokemon market crashes at all, this will be something that really crashes down for sure, just because there's so many of them. That's all I have to share today. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing some of the stuff I picked up and seeing that Lugia. If showing all that other stuff annoyed you and you just wanted to see Lugia, let me know. I can do that in the future. I love going to these card shows and just picking up all kinds of stuff, mix match of things, sharing it here on YouTube. So yeah, if you want to see more of that kind of stuff or slight pivots on that, just let me know. Subscribe. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out this other video I did recently as well.